Demystifying your favorite spiritual beings. This is my service as a metaphysicist and a channel to help prevent light washing. So, here we are today with a post that says there are some people who have sun inside of them, and it's hard to explain. Their presence just brightens. It's not about their beautiful smiles. They have an internal being that sheds light and feels like sun. It's a calm energy, inner peace. But most importantly, it's not wanting anything back in return. It's sun. There's a part of me that thinks that this may have been an AI that wrote this, but I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt for someone just feeling it like, in terms of complete and incomplete sentences. There are a couple of important things in here. Number one, it's actually not hard to explain. This sun experience is an experience in which somebody experiences a number of integrations and experiences with their own divine self, and they reconnect with the light that's inside of them. The light inside of them becomes so big and strong in their acceptance of it that you can start to feel it when you're around somebody else. I teach people to do this all the time. I call it enterogetics, but there are so many different spiritual paths and so many different spiritual teachers, and hopefully most of them are pointing you towards this direction, right? Because this is a matter of changing from a temporal reality, which is our 3D, 4D reality that we're in right now, to a higher dimensional reality. That's one light washing way of saying it. But a more important way of saying it is that we are always wanting to bring the eternal into our physical beings that are very temporal. And the more we can do that, the better, right? So whether it's an understanding of the fact that, you're the Buddha and you're becoming enlightened, you're basically bringing the light into your body. And that is what is exuding this light for everything. So it's not hard to explain, one. Two, everybody has it and everybody has the capability of doing it. There are people who have developed this ability and this self-love for themselves, and they are the ones that are being referenced in here. But I just want to really emphasize that everybody can do this. This is not just for certain people or bodhisattvas or whatever. And that leads me to the third part, which is the only really problematic part in this, besides the grammar, is that most importantly, it's not wanting anything back in return. At a certain level of altitude, this is absolutely true. When you develop this light inside of you, when you recognize the light inside of you, you don't have to do anything for it, and you don't have to do anything to give it. You don't turn it on. It's just always there all the time, as long as you are cultivating your own sense of inner peace and inner love, right? That's your job, right? And so there are what I call the ingenue or guru healers who are paid and have patrons and have probably come a long way in order to be able to gather a following of people who just want to be around their light, right? Whether it's in their words, whether they're doing it in their sound, whether it's the place that they're in, whether it's just their being, they just want to be around that light. And that's an amazing thing. There are also healers who have this capability, who are usually what I call in the category of the wounded healer. They are not even necessarily in the healing arts. They can be in any occupation, but they've gone through a lot of different things. They've integrated and loved and accept themselves through a lot of different shadow work. And they are also exuding this light, and they don't have this guru or ingenue view. They are different types of teachers for us. And I think if those wounded healers choose to go into the healing arts, I think it's really important to dispel the idea, because most wounded healers have money wounds. They have witch wounds. Money wounds meaning that they feel very bad about asking for money in exchange for their light or for the active work that they are doing in cultivating their light and manipulating their light, or they're witch wounds in which they don't want to go out and be made public. And so what I think is really important to recognize is that we have to accept and pay people who are wounded healers, who are in the healing arts, who may not have a guru following. And your judge of this is, how do you feel right after a session? Not how you feel a month or a week or anything. I mean, for some people, it lasts all week. Some people, it lasts all month. Sometimes you have one encounter and it will last for a very long time. But the idea is, how are you feeling afterwards? If you're feeling light, hopeful, if you feel like you can stay in your big self of loving and accepting yourself after you meet with that person, that is a very good indication that they have developed this sun. They are exuding it to you, and you are waking up your own sun. So just a little way to dispel any quacks or frauds, and just a way to be able to help us understand that we are all capable of doing this. So there you go for demystifying your favorite spiritual memes.